How's it going, everyone? I haven't made a commentary in a while, but it's because I've sinned. Okay, I went back on TikTok, and what a disaster that was. Let me tell you what. I was under the presumption that TikTok content would have gotten better over the past few years, but no, it's still as bad as it was. Maybe even worse than before because you've got that pink sauce thing going around, which isn't FDA approved, by the way, so whoever's distributing that shit might want to start preparing for some fines to start popping up. And to the people who are buying the pink sauce, you guys are fucking idiots, alright? But that's not the point of this video. Today we're looking at this account, okay? It's called how the fuck do you pronounce that? Whatever. Basically, she does these cooking tutorial things, fucking 5-minute craft style, and it's some of the most batshit insane things I've seen. It's always these disgusting combinations of food, and it's not even executed well, nor is it efficient, and probably tastes as good as it looks. Like, I swear to God, they go around their house and just grab random shit they find to throw in. Is that fucking Ruffles dog food bowl over there? Bring that shit over here. Throw it in the pan. Is that some dirt you dug up from outside? Why not? Throw it in. Might as well.
So we're going to start with a block of Velveeta cheese. We're going to add some macaroni noodles.
I'm going to stop it right here. There's just so many goddamn things wrong in this frame. First of all, why a whole block of cheese? That's going to be a real bitch to distribute. You know, you're going to have a hard time melting that and having the cheese, spread through the entire tray properly. You could at least, cut it up or grate it or something and then, sprinkle it on there. This is assuming you don't pull it out halfway and start mixing, which isn't very practical either. Things not being practical is going to be a common theme you'll find among this channel as well, not to mention if you're making mac and cheese, why Velveeta? If you could get your hands on a block of Velveeta, then you could probably get your hands on a block of cheddar or something, It'll taste better and it's got the added benefit of actually being cheese.
Add about halfway up the cheese. Now we're gonna add some heavy whipping cream. You just wanna use enough to cover the noodles. That's enough right there. Now we're gonna add some freshly grated Monterey Jack cheese. And last little bit right here to make that nice and even. Now we're gonna add about 1 cup of water. It's gonna help our noodles cook. Now I'm gonna add some mozzarella cheese. Now we're gonna place this into the oven at 375 for 30 minutes.
Do you know how much of a bitch this is gonna be to cook through? I mean, you just threw all the raw ingredients together in a pan and then threw it in the oven. I'm no Gordon Ramsay, but I'm almost certain that you're supposed to cook the pasta first, then do all of the other stuff. Like, shoot, you can even cook the pasta in cream or milk or whatever, and then add your cheese, You combine a few steps, not fucking ham-fist the entire recipe into one step and then hope it works. That's not how cooking works. You want to know what this reminds me of? Yeah, this isn't gonna end well, let me tell you what. I mean, this is Kay's recipe, so I can't see how it could get any worse, but I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow managed to botch even this.
That fit perfectly. I don't know what you're doing, but I like it so far.
You're gonna love it.
Am I?
Yeah. So we're gonna give these a flip.
Flip them over. That's perfect.
If by perfect you mean disgusting, then yes, you are absolutely correct, my good sir. This honestly looks like the introduction to a porno or some shit. Well, no, I'm giving them too much credit. People in porn cook better than these dudes. I mean, just look at this. You've got raw pasta wrapped with some ground beef just tossed into the pan haphazardly. How in the world is that pasta getting cooked? It's like throwing raw rice into a pan and expecting it to come out good. It's just not happening.
Next one. Flip them all over.
Okay, we're just gonna sprinkle some garlic.
What in the hell is that? You couldn't get fresh garlic? It had to be canned? God damn, it doesn't even look like garlic. It looks like a hate crime to me.
A little bit of garlic. That smells amazing.
It does. Okay, so now we're gonna take some peppers. Dump it all in there like that. You can use any type of vegetables you want.
This looks straight out of a restaurant right now.
I don't know who this guy in the background is, but he must have been fed cans of dog food and gum scraped off the bottom of desks at a high school. Straight out of a restaurant, my ass. What kind of restaurants are you going to, like McDonald's? Is that fine dining to you?
I'm gonna chop up some onion. I'm gonna toss that in there with everything else.
So colorful and pretty.
Oh, great. Shoot. So now my favorite part, I have some red wine here.
Okay.
Some Cabernet Sauvignon.
Some Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah. I don't know how to say it right.
You're doing
Just a little bit there. This helps to bring out the flavor.
Delicious. Raw pasta with some raw onions, with some raw vegetables, and some wine. My favorite. Fucking Gordon Ramsay better watch out. They're here to take the throne.
That was the most red wine ever. Somebody likes their wine.
So now while that's simmering, we're gonna add our tomato sauce.
I like what you're doing here.
Just for all the Italians out there.
This is actually going to be so good.
It is.
I don't see any Italians getting mad at this. Right? They get mad at a lot of things we do, but they can't get mad at this so far.
What makes you think you're going to be able to see angry Italians if you can't even see the abomination in front of you? I can literally smell the tears of those poor Italians out there. Godspeed to you, you poor souls. I understand the pain. I'm not, you see, this guy has the right idea. I'm not even Italian and I'm insulted. It's basically how all of us feel right now.
Oh.
Let's see. Ooh,
Oh.
look at that.
That turned out perfectly.
Take another one out. Looks like a sea creature.
Yeah, like one of those like lobster tails or something.
The only sea creature I can compare this to is a blobfish, because if I compared it to anything else, it'd be an insult to that sea creature. And, you know, this looks about right for blobfish. I guess the pasta cooked in the wine, kind of. I can't even tell what this is supposed to be. I guess it's supposed to be like a hybrid between fucking lasagna and spaghetti and meatballs. The pasta doesn't even look cooked. Like, you can see it still looks rigid. Oh, fuck. Alright, moving on. I'm done with this video. Jesus Christ.
We're gonna start by laying down some bacon. We're gonna add a hot dog on top. So now we're gonna try to roll this over. We just wanna form a log just like that. Now
I'm no Gordon Ramsay, but I don't think this is how you make a beef Wellington. Also, that sausage and bacon isn't gonna do shit for you. You're barely gonna taste it. Just look at this. The beef to sausage ratio is off the charts, through the fucking roof. You might as well take it out at that point. Look at this thing. The beef itself is like the size of your leg.
we're just gonna transfer this to our hot skillet. We just wanna lightly brown it on each side here. So we're just gonna flip that over. Now that we've lightly browned it, we're gonna transfer this into the oven. Pop that onto our tray. There we go.
This is so incredibly unappetizing. It's actually astonishing. I guess if you're hungry at night, just watch these videos and then you won't feel like eating anymore. It looks like a loaf of bread that's made of sawdust and mulch. This looks like a tree you cut down and just used a log instead. You know, my tree in the backyard is missing. Was that you guys? Did you guys just take my tree instead?
Now we're just gonna pop this into the oven at 350 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes, huh? Did you see how thick this thing is? I don't think that this is going to cook at all. Not to mention there's still bacon and sausage inside, which is going to be nowhere near done. Unless you want practically raw bacon and a cold sausage. Which I guess, you know, have at it.
Now while that's baking, we're gonna melt some Velveeta cheese. We're gonna start to mix this around. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of milk.
Milk? I'm sorry, what is that? Chocolate milk? No, well, no, it can't be. It's not dark enough. It's like coffee or some shit. What kind of milk do you people drink? I guess it could be almond milk, but that's a very... Even for almond milk, that's very tan. A very unnatural milk color.
Just a little bit. Last but not least, we're gonna top it off with some cheese sauce. Okay, now the hardest part, we're gonna try and wrap this thing. And we're gonna take the sides, and very gently cross it over. Same thing to the other side. There we go. All right, now I'm just gonna fold it over this way one more time.
This is not how you make beef Wellington, let me tell you what. I know fuck all about cooking, and even I know that something went awry here. Maybe it's not supposed to be a makeshift Wellington, it's supposed to be like a burrito. Kind of, but it doesn't even look appetizing.
We're gonna start with 4 eggs, add that to our Oreos.
Nope, absolutely not. We're not watching this one. That's a crime right there. Should be arrested for that.
We're gonna start by grating the frozen chicken breast. Flip my chicken around here.
I damn near spit out my drink while watching this. Grating a frozen chicken breast. Who in their right mind would do this? I guess if you're from Arkham Asylum, this would make sense to a certain degree, but even then, psychopaths wouldn't even see this as a viable option. At least use a food processor or something. Why do you need to pull out the grater? This just seems super unnecessary. Jesus Christ, I can't imagine being born a chicken and then surviving this long just to have my breasts get grated. I'd come back to life just to kill myself. I just want to go ahead and mention that the description of this video is how did I know this chicken trick? Calling this a trick is a really stretching the definition of a trick. That's like me calling myself a good football player. It's not even fucking close.
And this is what it should look like when you're done. I'm gonna take our shredded chicken and I'm gonna transfer it to a bowl. Crack an egg here. We're gonna add some salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of Italian seasoning, and a little bit of garlic powder. And I'm also gonna add a little bit of breadcrumbs. Now we're gonna mix all this together. Once you're done mixing, you wanna mold it together almost like a hamburger patty. Now take some saran wrap, place it over your bowl. We wanna place that inside our bowl. Now we're gonna take our chicken and we're gonna place it into our bowl. You wanna mold that to the bowl. Now we're gonna fold over the saran wrap and do each side. Flip it over this way.
This is supposed to be a recipe for replacement burger buns, by the way, which involves like 14 fucking steps when you could just go to the store and buy some hamburger buns yourself. If you have the time to grate chicken breast, then you sure as hell have the time to get your hands on some fucking hamburgers, alright? It's not like hamburger buns are holy and sacred, and to get them you have to wrestle them from Zeus himself on top of Olympus. Out of here.
Nice and tight. Now once that's wrapped, we want to place it into the freezer for about an hour.
I'm sorry, did you just grab the freezer handle with your gloves on? You know, the dirty gloves that got dirty because you used them to handle the chicken, so now your fridge is dirty? Incredible. The fucking IQ here is mind-blowing. It's off the charts. God, this is why I don't use TikTok, I swear to you.
Alright, we're just going to cut this in half now. Oh, that's cutting nice and smooth. Nice and slow. Alright, you ready? That looks just like bread!
No, the fuck it doesn't. Do you have any idea how flavorless that's gonna be? You might as well eat sand at that point. You know, you took it straight out of the freezer, frozen, and then put it in the oven. You know, that's fucking basic cooking 101 right here. You know, you could watch half an hour of Gordon Ramsay and know that that's not something you should do. Not to mention this thing takes 30 minutes to cook if you don't want to get salmonella, which, you know, in the 30 minutes you spend making this thing, you could have, you know, driven to the store and gotten like 12 hamburger buns or something, saved yourself a lot of trouble. Notice how many appliances she uses to just make one single chicken bun or whatever this abomination is. I don't get it. I don't understand how 140,000 people sat down and said, "Yep, it's a good recipe right there." Probably kids, all things considered, because it's not a good recipe. Come on now. I mean, I haven't made this myself, and I don't plan on either, so I can't say how scrumptious this may taste, but in all practical purposes, I can tell you that nobody with an IQ higher than average male height is going to make this, alright? It's not... It's just it's just incredibly unnecessary when you could just fucking go to Walmart, get some potato buns or something. We all know that neither of them took a bite of this, probably threw it away in the trash afterwards, but yeah, that's about it. TikTok is truly the fourth dimension because when you go on here, nothing makes sense. You don't understand shit, or to the normal human being at least, and these cooking videos further prove my point. Well, it's very generous of me to call them cooking videos because it's mostly just them grabbing random shit they find in the fridge, ham-fisting it together and hoping it doesn't explode in their oven. But yeah, that's about it. Take it easy, everyone.